Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you a design process of a logo redesign that I did for a client. If you've been around my channel, probably saw my videos about Framer or Figma, but today will be a little bit different. I will show you the work that I do for visual identity and logo designs. So without further ado, let's go. So this is the presentation I already did for a client, and the project is closed. The client is happy about the result. So I can show you the process that I did without going into the deep technical information like how to do it in Figma or Illustrator. So this is a presentation, and the first slide is about the project summary. The task was to make a logo redesign that my client sent me. She's a UX designer, and the logo should be modern and it should be polished, and the target audience is design studios who seek UX designer, and also businesses and business owners who seek UX designer to help them with their projects. On the third slide, I show the problem, and the problem was that when I looked at the logo that I got on the light background, I didn't notice the problem on the first side. But when I put it on the dark background, you see that they actually, these two shapes, they have a stroke. And the problem is not only because we can see it on the dark background, but the problem is that when we try to enlarge it like this with just holding our shift and enlarging it with my move tool, you can see that the lines, they actually get thinner because we use only move tool to make it larger. Of course, if we use a scale tool, we can see that we're like scaling everything, but this is not good anyway because this logo mark and the shape shouldn't have these lines and strokes. It should be without strokes, and this should be actually a negative space and like empty space between these two shapes. So this was one of the things that I had to fix. Also, when I removed the stroke, you can see that the shapes of these elements were not as pretty as they looked with the stroke. And here you see the problems over here as well, right? That this gray element actually falls off this darker element. Actually, the logo is the two letters of the client's name. You see the R and the B on the back. I like the idea of this, and I wanted to make it a little bit better in terms of the shape, and I wanted to fix the shape. So this was the main task, and to make color for it. So here I show the problems with the shapes over here I show like pointing them, and the next step is I show that this is before and this is the after. What I did here, you can see that I changed the shape a little bit because I wanted to have this arrow thing going in the letter R to make it more dynamic, and I removed all these crooked lines and made it straight. And also now it's aligned to the grid. You see this is perfect circle here, and the R is kind of going up on the top line of the circle, and I added the arrow. And here I showed the grid alignment, how it looks. Actually, I took the size of this like square and I used the size to make everything aligned to the square grid. Basically, as I remember, it's about 8 pixels, like 8 by 8 pixels, the shape of the square. So I aligned everything to a grid here. And now what I want to do, I wanted to make it more dynamic. So I turned this arrow shape to the right a little bit, like to make it dynamic, more dynamic, because here you see it looks really static for me. So now we have this movement inside of this circle. You see it's going from bottom It's going to the top and to the right like this. And now what we need to do, we need to look how it's going to be looking at in monocolor. So I turned everything to black, and you see the problem is that we don't have this negative space in the B and the R. We have it only here. So we need to add it. We need to add a little bit white space, and that's what I do over here. And again, everything is aligned to a grid. This is the same size as over here, and actually you can see like almost you can see it like a little square. And if I go really close, you'll see it's 8 by 8 pixels, and here is the same 8 pixels, and here is also 8 pixels. And now it looks pretty good already, right? Because we have this shape, we can see the R, we can see the B, so now it looks good. Now we add the colors. So I wanted to add this green and this purple color. Why purple? Because my client is the UX designer, and she works a lot with prototypes in Figma. And as you all know, when we go to prototype, we have these arrows, and they're all purple. And actually this arrow, for me, and the idea behind this new updated logo is that this letter R actually is an arrow that shows the user flow inside of this shape. So I kind of like this idea, and I pushed it to the main version and to the final version of this project. And here is the second variant where we add gradient shadow inside of this green letter B to make it more 3D, sort of 3D, and to add depth to this logo. And also I wanted to have it more dynamic, so I added these shapes. I changed the top of the letter B and the bottom of the letter R. So this is kind of like the start of the arrow. You see it goes this way, and it's kind of turning and going up, right? So this is a really cool shape now, and we see a lot of movement inside. So the movement is the movement of the user flow, and this is what UX is about, right? When we speak about user experience and going from one point, from A to B, from one button to another, or to another shape, or to another screen. So this is what this logo is about. And next step is the monochrome version, and here I show the final grid version, and the final grid version shows actually the pixels, 8 by 8 pixel squares, and it shows that it's all aligned, and it's perfectly aligned inside of this grid. And the result is the final logo in monochrome black version, and the full color version over here. And I also did a site concept, and it may look something like this. We can play around with this shape like that. You see, make a movement, but this is a story for another video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video and you saw my process of working with the client for logo redesign. Maybe you have some ideas about it, and maybe it will make your presentations more interesting, and you got some ideas and tips and how to improve your presentations. In any case, if you have any ideas and comments, please write them down in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please like the video if you like it so other people can see it. Also, don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn and Twitter, X, where I post different tips and tricks about web design, Framer, and Figma. And my name is Sergey, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.